Welcome back to our Explainer series. We've spent our last few sessions building up this really comprehensive picture of how Python handles visual media. We've played around with Pillow, OpenCV, and recently MoviePy. But today, we're adding a massive new capability to our toolkit. We're diving into Pydub. It's a library built specifically for manipulating audio files. We're going to take the basic audio concepts we barely touched on with MoviePy and literally take them to a whole new level.
Okay, let's jump straight into this, because the simplicity here is just absolutely amazing. With Pydub, you don't need some massive, complicated interface to do your everyday editing. You can actually make an audio file louder just by typing a plus sign, or make it quieter with a minus sign. It makes coding audio feel so incredibly natural, and we're going to see exactly how this magic works. So here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the audio automation missing link, then get into Pythonic editing and audio math. After that, we'll look at advanced mixing and splitting, and finally wrap up with automating the real world.
All right, Section 1, the audio automation missing link, and exactly where Pydub fits into the whole ecosystem.
Now, you might be thinking, didn't we literally just cover audio in MoviePy? Well, yeah, we did. A video file clip in MoviePy definitely has an audio attribute for embedded tracks. But Pydub is a totally different beast. It focuses exclusively on standalone audio files. It gives us a way more thorough, dedicated set of tools for manipulating sound completely independently of any video whatsoever.
Under the hood, getting started is super straightforward. Just run a quick pip install Pydub, but here's the absolute crucial piece of infrastructure you've got to know. Pydub relies directly on an underlying tool called FFmpeg. It basically uses FFmpeg behind the scenes so it can smoothly and properly handle pretty much any crazy audio format you might throw at it.
Once you've got it installed, everything you do revolves around something called the AudioSegment. You just load up an existing file using AudioSegment.fromFile, pass in your file path, and boom, that resulting object represents your entire audio clip. If you've been following our Explainer series, you'll see this closely mirrors the video clip object from our MoviePy toolkit. It is the absolute foundational building block for everything we're doing today. Moving on to Section 2, let's talk about Pythonic editing, audio math, and intuitively manipulating sound.
The syntax here is just ridiculously simple. Say you want to extract a chunk of audio from the 1 second mark to the 5 second mark. You literally just use standard Python bracket slicing. Want to make it 6 decibels louder? Just type your audio variable +6. 10 decibels quieter? -10. What if you want to join two clips together, one sequentially after the other? Just hit them with the plus operator, audio 1 plus audio 2. Pydub deliberately treats everyday audio tasks like basic math, and it's a real game changer. But wait, here is the absolutely most crucial point to remember from that slicing example. Pydub measures time exclusively in milliseconds. So when we slice that audio from 1 to 5 seconds, we didn't type 1:5, we used 1000 to 5000. You definitely want to keep this top of mind for all your Pydub automation scripts so your edits don't get wildly out of whack.
All right, Section 3, Advanced Mixing and Splitting. Let's look at some real-world processing tools. So, let's talk about the overlay method. This perfectly parallels the composite video clip concept we tackled with MoviePy. The overlay method lets you layer one audio clip directly on top of another. And this is huge for content creation. It means you can effortlessly mix background music right underneath your spoken narration, which is absolutely essential if you're generating the kind of high-volume, pictory format video content we've discussed so much.
But to make those layered tracks sound professional, you need smooth transitions, right? You literally just call fade in and fade out and pass in your desired fade duration. And yep, measured in milliseconds again. So instead of a jarring, abrupt start or stop, Pydub gives you a beautifully smooth volume transition at either end.
Now, if you're building out data pipelines, Pydub is incredibly powerful. Check out the split_on_silence function. It automatically finds actual, genuine silence within a track and breaks the file apart into individual segments based on those pauses. This connects right back to our earlier deep learning explainer. If you're prepping a massive recording for natural language processing or speech recognition, this is exactly how you automatically split out individual sentences.
Pydub also acts like your own automated quality control inspector. Just like checking image dimensions in Pillow, you can drop your clip right into Python's native len function to get the exact duration in milliseconds. You can also check the .dbfs property, which tells you precisely how loud the clip currently is. This is fantastic for verifying that a massive batch of files actually meets your minimum quality standards before they go anywhere near production.
Once your audio is perfectly polished, you just call the export method. Pass in your output file path, set the format parameter, like format equals MP3, and you're good to go. Because it relies directly on FFmpeg, Pydub handles the entire underlying encoding process automatically, letting you convert between basically any format FFmpeg supports.
Which brings us to Section 4, automating the real world and scaling Pydub for massive production.
So here's the million-dollar question. How exactly do we take these intuitive little slices and volume tweaks and scale them up to handle, say, an entire massive library of hundreds of different recordings all at the exact same time?
The answer goes right back to the automation themes from Explainer 53, multiprocessing. If you need to normalize the volume across a massive media library, you can pull in multiprocessing.pool. This lets you process several distinct files simultaneously by utilizing your separate CPU cores. You just wrap your Pydub math inside a function and unleash your computer's full horsepower on the problem.
Let's actually tie this all together into a real professional scenario. Imagine you have a massive folder of narration recordings for those Pictory videos. With a script, you could just iterate right through them. Step 1, use Pydub slicing to trim the unwanted dead air from the ends. Step 2, check that dBFS property and use the plus or minus operators to consistently normalize the volume across the board. Step 3, use overlay to mix in your standard background track. The whole shebang happens automatically, programmatically.
And this really brings us full circle to how Pydub and MoviePy interact. In a real-world pipeline, these two are best friends. The absolute best practice is to use Pydub as your step 1, effectively clean, trim, and polish your standalone audio tracks. Then, for step 2, you hand those pristine audio files off to MoviePy to combine them with your final video content. It basically completes your entire, comprehensive media automation toolkit.
So what exactly are you going to automate next, now that you've got image, video, and audio perfectly under your belt? Pydub gives you this remarkably concise Python syntax for manipulating sound, and it's just incredibly fun to use. Next time, we'll close out this whole media block by diving into scikit-image for scientific processing. But until then, with the tools you have right now, could you theoretically automate an entire production studio using just a single Python script? Think about it. Thanks for learning with me, and we'll catch you in the next explainer.